My name is Teresa. I am a woman, wife, and mother conquering chronic illness, and today we're going to talk about why you should get you a black female doctor. Hey, could you do me a favor? Subscribe, and I'll see you in the comment section down below. So the title is clickbait. Maybe not a black female doctor, but this is definitely why you should not feel any type of way, especially if you're a black woman, if you're a woman, if you're brown, black, anything besides white and male. Why you should not feel bad at all with getting a doctor that you are more comfortable with, whether it's getting somebody who looks like you, as a black and woman like me, or who is the same race as you, the same ethnic background, or who is female, the same gender, especially in like when it comes to OBGYN. Don't feel bad about it because data is on your side. So, generally speaking, before I had any sort of chronic illness, for me, it did not matter if my doctor was black or white, male or female. I just needed to be comfortable with them. I've only, before I was had a chronic illness, had a bad experience with one doctor. He was a white male. I don't think that's why he was a bad person. I think he was a bad doctor. I think he was just a bad person, honestly. And it was one of those things where like even his staff didn't want to deal with him. And so, yeah, just that, I don't know that his race and gender had anything to do with it. Or if my race and gender affected the way that he cared for me, he really was just a horrible person. And that was a long time ago. I think the most kindest doctor I have ever had, the most comfortable I'd ever been in an OBGYN office before the OBGYN I have now was with a white male doctor. I'll never forget how comfortable and how kind he was. That was my first foray into adulthood after like leaving the college system where they had the doctors for you. You had to go find your own doctor after I graduated. And it was just, I could not have appreciated it more. It could not have been a better experience to be a young adult trying to find a doctor for such a very intimate issue and happening to fall upon him. It was just a lovely experience. And I have had some female doctors that have just been like, and so, and I have honestly, I'm just going to be honest with you, I have strayed away from being, from narrowing down I strayed away from just patroning black medical establishments because they are so far and few between and so coveted. Sometimes it's just really hard to get in, right? And so one black doctor will have so many patients, and like, it doesn't make the doctor any less good, but it makes it harder for them to practice because they have so many patients, because there are a lot of black people who really do just want a black doctor, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't blame them. And so the couple of times I have experienced being having a black doctor, or trying to get a black female doctor specifically, like black female specifically, like everybody wants them because they're great doctors. They're great doctors. You can feel comfortable in the office, and but there are few. Before, I think it's gotten a little bit easier now, but before they were so few and far between that it was just like, it was longer wait times. It was longer in getting in. It was, But you waited because you wanted that good black woman doctor, because black women are everything. I'm biased. But anyway, so it wasn't until these past probably 3 years where I've dealt with chronic illness, where it became really important for me to not have to fight with my doctor, to not have to feel like I was not being heard by my doctor and not being understood, to not have to feel like I was overcoming stereotypes and just all sorts of things. So I can honestly say it has made a difference in my care, and that is awful. They talk a lot about the disparities in women's health when it comes to black women, especially when it deals with maternal mortality. But it extends far beyond that, right? There have been some studies that have come out here recently about black women are diagnosed later when it comes to breast cancer and more likely to die, but like 30, 40%, 60%. It's something ridiculous. Black women are often later diagnosed with a lot of things simply because we're not heard in the doctor's office. And there are lots of reasons to it. Some of it is just outright racism. Some of it is implicit biases in medical care. That's an actual thing. Some of it is cultural. I had to talk with my doctor about my primary care physician about my diagnosis with some of these things that I've been diagnosed with. And one of the biggest issues that culturally black people don't talk about their health with their families. And so a lot of the things, had I known the family history of my family, it would have been a lot easier maybe not a lot easier, but it would have pointed to the direction of some of these autoimmune conditions. Had I known that I had a family history of autoimmune disease, and that's the actual real thing. And so having a doctor who understands that culture disparity the way that she did when she asked me, so do you have family history? No. Do you know if you have family history? That follow-up question really made a difference. I don't know. Well, you should find out. Or my rheumatologist, do you have family history of this? No. Do people in your family have skin conditions? Do they have this? Do they have this? Well, yeah, you might have a family history. Maybe you should check. Like having a doctor who understands those cultural biases is really helpful. And so if I have to pick from a pool of doctors, I need to be more comfortable in the doctor's office. And I have found that I am most comfortable, especially when it comes to my mental health, when I'm the most uncomfortable talking about things. Black, female, I don't have to explain things, and not having to explain certain things or not having to recode how I speak makes it really helpful. It doesn't mean that my doctor is unprofessional and that we're just shooting the breeze. It means that when I say, I felt really bad, so I went and got my hair done, she understands the significance of that. And I don't want to have to explain it, but if you're a black woman, then you know. It makes it more easy. It is me. It is me. I am more comfortable. And me being more comfortable with my doctor is as important as my doctor being really a good doctor. Because if I am uncomfortable in communicating what I am dealing with my doctor, then it doesn't matter how comfortable I am. It doesn't matter how good they are. I'm not going to get the outcome that I want because I'm not able to put in to the appointment what I need to put in. And I found that especially true for me when it comes to mental health. Having a black doctor, female doctor, having black doctors, female doctors, or black and brown doctors, or doctors who genuinely understand and are willing to delve into the cultural biases that come with cultural and racial biases that come with healthcare, has really made a difference in the way that I'm not only treated as a patient, but the outcomes that I have. The goal is to be healthy when you go to the doctor, and you want as few obstacles as you can between you and your doctor to get to that healthy outcome. Let me know down below what you think. Do you feel like you have to have a doctor who looks like you to get a good outcome? I'll see you in the comment section and in the next video.